Hey guys, we are back. It's Nightwing, Way of Life Esports, and now as I said, we promised we were gonna live watch the TSM game versus LGD, as we promised. So yeah, I got an hour of sleep in and 30 minutes, and I'm good. As I said before, I don't need too much. It's good enough for me. On TSM side right now, you have Kindred ban and Nidalee ban, and on LGD side, you have Lucian ban. I don't know consistently why TSM is forcing certain picks. I don't know what style they are even planning on playing at this point. I really don't know. If I'm being completely honest here, I don't know what they're planning on doing. They always leave something open just so they can grab something, but they only really grab it because they don't want the enemy team to have it, not because they can really play it. That's kind of the reason. I think that's stupid. If you can't play the pick you don't want the enemy team to have, then you might want to actually practice that pick in your compositions. It doesn't make any sense. Consistently always leaving up certain picks right now because they are so scared the other team gets them and just destroys them. Doesn't make any sense. And as of yesterday, since they lost to Gen G, teams don't care if you take Zillion because they realize it's not working. Zillion's not going to work here. It's just this is not the LCS. But what do you think?
All right. So first thing I want to address is why that we're not doing this 100% live. As you can see, we're not doing this live because he shut up late. I paused it just in case.
I was already ready.
Yeah. I mean, you weren't in the call, so I paused it. We're gonna watch it. We have not. Neither one of us has watched the game yet. It's still going on as we speak. We just didn't want to get a glimpse of what was going on during the game. So as it stands right now, I think the big thing about this is the fact that we see Peanut actually he is an early aggressive jungler, and when he's not on one of those, he's completely worthless. I understand these kind of bans against them. The Lucian specifically, I mean, again, I guess that's definitely something. I mean, I don't know. I don't really think we're going to be seeing it out of Broken Blade and Bjergsen, so, I mean, at this point, I guess they're banning against Doublelift, and I don't see a situation where I think that's going to be a big deal against them, because, again, I think at this point in time, Doublelift's been relegated to Senna duty, but, I mean, there's a possibility of Bjergsen, everybody pulling it out. Bjergsen's got a pretty large champion pool, but, I mean, I don't know. I don't see this ban being a priority for this team. I mean, maybe they're picking a specific character that's just not good into it. Maybe they're picking a Galio mid, which would be completely dumpstered by it. But, I mean, there's really no knowing until we see the rest of the picks, honestly. I assume they're playing Galio based off that, but I don't know. So I'm just going to start it up.
All right, so you have actually... I don't know. We'll all see how their composition plays out. Because, the issue here with TSM is that you generally just don't know what TSM you're going to get. And that's just always been their thing. And they have just... It's weird. They should be considered the X-Files team. They have multiple identities. This is crazy.
I don't see a reason as... again, it seems like they're prioritizing...
Orange, Caitlyn.
I mean, the Ornn and the Caitlyn, I mean, the Ornn is just kind of a weird ban. Again, I don't think is as necessary because the reason that Ornn is so good is the fact that he really can't, what's it called? His engage is so easily interruptible. It wasn't, cohesive teams can actually stop him before he can actually get off the second part of it, even considering his W. That's why it was a big problem with the playing teams to be able to deal with him. He has a lot of resistances on top of the fact that he, even behind, is still relevant. But, oh yeah, obviously the CF. No one's surprised by that. They're letting him play
Can't let Bjergsen have TF. That'd be crazy.
That's a pretty good character for to grab for Spica off the bat. If they're not going to ban the Graves, there's no reason. But, let's see. I mean, I think the most surprising part of this is the fact that, what's it called? It was 2 jungle bans. They didn't want to see that. I'm assuming... I don't know. Are they really worried about the pressure that Peanut's going to be putting out? Because he's not been one of the more relevant portions of this team recently.
It looks like they just want to prioritize in giving their laner stability with the LGD draft. Because if you're grabbing Senna, you're probably grabbing Leona for him, I'd imagine.
I would have preferred banning the Renekton over most of those because it seems like that's the pretty much the priority of only S for the most part. It's his best champion. The banning the I'm grabbing the Shen into Renekton is not a bad idea. Obviously he's able to like get rid of the shield, but he's still more relevant in the mid game.
Now they're taking Shen because in North America it was an answer to Renekton.
It's not an answer. I mean, he doesn't win the lane. He's just able to do well in the first 2 levels. So maybe you can generate a lead in those first 2 levels to be able to do something with Renekton.
Pearson blind picking LeBlanc. Okay, I like it. I like it.
Wants to carry this game because everybody's trash talking him, I'm assuming. But I think a big problem I have with this team actually.
Lilian for Peanut. If you pick that, he's gonna run it down. This man has played not one single good Lilian game.
Lilia's too easy for it to matter. It's fine. Lilia's really good right now. She has a lot of % HP, and she just really the mobility she puts on allows her to keep going back and forth. She's able to hit and run.
All right, so I'm predicting you just take the Leona right now. This is perfectly setting up for like Senna Leona, or you want to take the Tom Kench. I take Tom Kench with it too.
There's too many different variables in what they could take with the Senna. I mean, I don't see a reason as to why you take the Leona into that team because there's not too many characters you can actually hit with it so far. I mean, what's her name? You can't really prioritize Shen unless you're getting a direct pick on him. You can't hit the LeBlanc. Grace is mobile too, like a lot of mobility on top of the fact that the less mobile character's too tanky. They're really like.
Okay,
really
TSM saw it coming. Okay, so that makes sense. TSM saw the Senna Leona coming, so they just take away Leona. They can't have Leona engaging in on their comp anyway. Imagine like Leona engaging in onto a.
She can't get to most of these kids. Like again, I don't see a it's just a good combo in general. It's just more so for the laning phase.
Silas was pretty big in the play-ins, but Silas hasn't been big in the main event yet. It's really crazy that a lot of people did predict that the play-in meta was not going to translate to the main group stage event. I mean, none of it really has because in the play-in stage it was all about
Graves, Ornn,
stability.
And
Syndra. Okay. Orianna.
Characters that got picked. I mean, I think.
Wait, LGD, they respect TSM that much with
why would you not?
Yeah, 4 ADC bans, but
it's
the
not
Lucian
respect. They think they can ban out somebody who they think is the weakest player in this team. They think they're trying to ban out somebody who has the smallest champion pool. It's not about disrespect. It's disrespecting Doublelift specifically. It's not respect. They think.
I mean, Doublelift can play Ezreal, and Biofrost is gonna play Bard. Obviously, I kind of figured Biofrost would play Bard. Based on the fact that he's had relatively decent success with it, it's kind of one of his more better champions. But I don't actually like his Bard. I think his Bard is his worst champion.
You're basing off that specific play where he killed Bjergsen, and I don't think that's a good enough reason.
Even in the wait, did he play it outside of this game? If I'm wrong, did he play it outside of this game?
What do you mean?
No, he only played it for this game so far for World so far.
Worlds? I don't know.
Yeah. I think he played it against Genji.
So one thing I do like to say is the fact that there is a lot of hard engage on the side of LGD, so they're probably gonna go for a lot of early aggressive plays. Even though you see what's it called? You see a lot of scaling champions on the side of them. They also have a lot of ability to get in on TSM. Like what's his name? Like Ezreal's able to get away from it, but he can't really do it early on. He can't really get too far away from it again because he doesn't have the ability to peel back after the E. So he does have the safety of the E flash at the beginning, but after that it's pretty much like irrelevant. I mean, Nautilus can get on, pretty much everybody pretty easily. He has just one of the most massive hitboxes on his hooks in this game. I think. Let me see. I think a big problem.
I like both drafts actually. I think the drafting is okay on TSM's part. I think LGD way over prepped for it, way over analyzed their draft. They were like, okay, we really gotta put Doublelift down. It's like, dude, come on. He's really not been that relevant.
It's not about that. It's not about being scared of him. It's about they think they have the weakest member with the smallest champion pool and they can target him.
I know that probably is the reason why they did it, but I'm just saying I think it was unnecessary.
Who can you ban out besides him? I mean,
I would have just banned out other things. Like I would have actually banned out more things Bjergsen can play. Like what's going to be more effective?
ban out
banning out certain
Bjergsen.
things Bjergsen's gonna play, or banning certain things Double's gonna play.
You can't ban out Bjergsen is the big thing. That's the big reason as to why people don't really attempt it. They really like the only things you really ban are like his Zillion and
Zoe, I would say. They
Zillion.
always leave Zoe open though. It's weird. Like none of the North American teams have really taken Zoe. I mean, I guess they figure it's not that strong, but like all the other Zoe games I've seen from anybody not in North America has been like just insanely strong. Because literally, you see a bunch of people choosing pick compositions. So if you're going to choose a pick composition, I imagine Zoe would want to be your best bet because literally she has a long range stun. It's like an ideal pick champion. Oh, they're going to do. All right, so no level 1 invade. Okay, cool.
Unfortunate. That's usually it's been the meta so far recently. I don't like Lily as a champ. She's just fun to play. She's just so wonky, dude.
My type of champion. I haven't had a chance to play Lilia yet. I still think she is a better mid laner than Bjergsen. I mean, that's not me just having like some sort of LPL bias. I think she has been playing massively better. I also think he's been having more of an
Specifically in
impact.
Worlds, I'll agree with that. I think all through this year, I think Bjergsen's been better. I think that's almost undeniable for me, honestly. But at this World specifically, I do agree. She has been outperforming Bjergsen because Bjergsen's not been playing that well.
Like, people gotta factor in, just because I, like, criticize something doesn't mean I, like, specifically hate the people that are playing it. Because I know it was in a fucking C9 group where they're like, oh my god, why are you talking about this, about the players?
I just don't even imagine, like, why would you even walk up? First of all, you're behind, so you're gonna hit level 2 second anyways. If he had waited any longer, he would have...
Oh, fuck, yeah, Double just blew Flash. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, no! Oh, my God, you're dead. You're dead. What the hell? No, oh, my lord. Brain broken. All right, this lane's over. You just lost your laning phase. What is that? What is that? That is not... I'm not making excuses for this, people. This is the shitty, atrocious gameplay. People keep telling me that's really good. I just literally saw this person walk disrespectfully into a Nautilus.
He didn't. It's the problem is that. What?
He walked up to.
Like, Nautilus starts hook level 1. He's one of the few champions. Like, I mean, not the few champions. Like, Thresh doesn't start hook. Obviously, there's a few other situations where hard CC isn't picked on the first go. Like, Leona has Q first. She can't really get on top of you. But like, Nautilus is like not only does it like he land Q, but he also has the ability to like auto-attack you and snare you. Like, there's nothing... if he gets on top of you with no... especially with no flash, there's nothing you can do. It was idiotic for Ezreal to actually walk up like that. I don't understand that.
I just, man... Good God, Doublelift. And these are things he knows. These are the same things he criticized after move for. Okay, yeah, Langx is probably dead.
No, he has
obviously...
Flash.
Okay, he has Flash?
Yeah, why would you... there's no way he does there.
I mean, Langx has been playing okay. I think he's been... This is not his form that I saw last year out of him, which is what I was super hyped on. I've kind of watched him for the better part of most of the year. He's been okay. He hasn't been like a superstar level, but he's been relatively solid. But you guys have to kind of factor in LPL. There's just so many much more better players. So like, if you're not the best, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal personally. Like. Seeing Broken Blade on Shen. So now, since Broken Blade has been their like second best player, or maybe best player actually, having him on something like Shen gives him a lot of early game presence where he can actually impact team fighting without having to worry about if his TP is gonna be up. Because if you rely on that for like the Camille pick, you're not really getting that. Like when they played against Fnatic, I know they prioritized the Camille because he could obviously have the 1v1 prowess over Whippo, but it didn't really matter much if he couldn't impact team fights. Like North America's gonna really struggle because like you can't always rely on getting the Shen pick because you're kind of factoring they're only picking it because they want team fight relevance because they know they're gonna be down some point during the game.
It's not really a good team fighter. It's a good 1-3-1er or kind of early to mid game kind of.
I understand why don't you just pick Gnar?
Because Gnar doesn't have the ability to TP onto people with his ult. That's the whole reason you pick Shen. You don't pick him for his strong laning phase or a build. Like his team fighting's just below average when it comes to tanks. But the real strength that I think that oh my god.
Oh no, another hook
I will
lands.
say one of the most important, integral points of banning inside of China is Renekton and Nautilus, and I feel like no one wants China because it's never banned. Like, those are the two most, important parts to these comps. They always play these characters, Every single top laner can play Renekton to a massively good degree. Every support plays Nautilus. You see them off Nautilus, they become a lot worse. Like, it doesn't even make sense not to ban these specific characters against these players, because it seems like you're just not taking into account the actual region's success rates on these the characters.
That was crazy. Like, TSM used that composition from the LPL, the Evelyn Lucian comp, and actually won against Cloud9 with the game 1. So, like, it's not that they can't adapt. That's just not an excuse. Like, they can adapt. It's just that maybe they think that they probably overall just, like, think they can't execute properly on it. I'm not really too sure. Like, I don't know. Like, the problem also with TSM right now, for what I'm seeing, is that they are kind of just getting shut into their lanes, and like the problem with having Bjergsen on LeBlanc is going to be an issue because he's not going to be able to roam around effectively with how much Xie is pushing. Like, Xie is doing pretty well against him to the point where like he's not able to roam around because LeBlanc is all about roams. Like, roaming is what she wants to do. She doesn't want to sit in lane unless you're going to be constantly 1v1 solo killing Xie, which is, let's be honest, that's not their goal. They want Bjergsen to roam around the map and get kills so he can dictate the pace of the game. Right now, I think TSM's bot lane has also been underperforming to a massive degree. Like, Doublelift last year was actually pretty good at Worlds. People kind of don't give him enough credit, I assume, from last year. Like, he's been pretty bad.
They're making something happen. You can see LeBlanc roaming down, too. So even if this doesn't work out, they didn't do anything. So he's not going to get anything done. He's going to look for a kill on the backside, though.
They're going to set up a bot lane dive. They're not tanking the tower. You have Mark low. Mark uses the shield. Alright, Broken Blade gets a kill with the Stand United. Alright. Ooh, that was close. Ooh, they could have... If they had played that a little bit more timed, they actually could have got 3 kills.
All I'm saying is that was a 5-man. There was a lot committed to that. They got one singular kill. They're going to lose... There's going to lose tower plates in both lanes, which is going to be, like... It's 160 gold each, or 120. I think it's 160.
You know what's kind of funny, though? I've not seen a smile on any of these TSM players' faces. Like, they must be getting, like... They must be getting, like, so destroyed during scrims. It's very, very apparent. Their scrims are going bad. They have lost faith in each other. I've already seen these TSM faces, like...
They never smile, dude. What? These
I mean, like,
TSM
I have not
like
seen
this.
guys... I have not seen these guys even smile once this group stage. They
don't smile in regular season. Like, they're just unhappy people, dude. I don't know if it's relevant to anything.
Okay, Langesh is dead off the mini the mini player for the live viewing. So Renekton is dead. I mean, investing this much for 1 kill, I mean, I guess. But you're going to be killing off Langex and giving it to Broken Blood. So your 2 biggest carries and one of your better players right now has a kill. He's been invested into. He's got the resources. So now it's time to see what they're going to do with it. If they get this Rift Herald, they can obviously summon a top lane to put Langex even further behind. And I want to see what else they're going to do. Like, you're going to have to dictate the pace of the game here if you're this far ahead. Who got it? Is it Peanut?
TSM got it.
All right, so now, what's going on? All right, so they were going to attempt to fight Mark. Nope, that's not. I'm pretty sure Biofrost is dead. Goodbye. Xie gets another kill. Like, I mean, they tried there. I'm not gonna really, harp too much about that. They tried. It's okay.
I mean, they got Rift Herald. It's not the worst situation. They traded 1 for 1. A lot of the, Doublelift got to farm for free in the bot lane. Senna, and actually is up in CS on Senna. I don't know what Broken Blade
Solo
is doing.
basically ran down Broken Blade? Are you... Oh my god. Langex ran down Broken Blade after having been literally just killed by a gank. What? This Chinese Renekton is so good. Langex is gonna get attacked, obviously, by Biofrost and Spica.
He's gonna go kill him. He's gonna Q up. I mean, not W. Oh, he's gonna W.
Bjergsen didn't kill him. No, Bjergsen.
I thought he had the ability to W QRE. I thought that's what he was going for.
Now they're even further behind. No.
Shut up.
Oh my goodness. I mean, like, I'm trying not to be like pessimistic, but they're trying. I think they're trying to make stuff happen. Like they're not getting 5v5 dumpstered. It's not that pretty bad actually. But look at the bright side here. The bright side. They're going 0-3. All things are balanced.
I mean, they could still easily win this game. It's not a massive deficit. They scale moderately well. Again, it's not like there's a massive difference between scaling comps. Doublelift got the dragon. They're getting a lot of the objectives right now. They're down in gold, but it's based off of turrets right now, like turret plates.
Marcus
kills
should be dead.
Yeah.
Spica got the dragon. That's good right now. See, those are the things that I wanted out of TSM. Take the fight to them. Like the North American teams, for the first few days, were playing like scaling bullshit that they know is not going to work against teams like this. Like these are things veteran players know from all these years of being at multiple different world championships. Literally, you take the fight to them. You have to make early game proactive moves. Otherwise, you are going to honestly just lose. We saw what they were doing earlier when they were just doing nothing. LGD were actually shoving them in and actually winning most of their lanes. Like Shie has been playing pretty well. Peanut hasn't been inting. You also have the bot lane with Kramer and Mark not actually playing that bad. So the only part about TSM right now that's really lacking is their bot lane for Doublelift and Biofrost. But it kind of will get mitigated because Doublelift, he puts out a lot of damage during team fights. All right, so who did Biofrost ult? He ulted Spica. Broken Blade comes in with Stand United. He hasn't found a target. He's going to get singled out. He should. Yeah, he's dead. Ooh. Gosh, man. Like, I think Shie's going to have the same type of game that Jensen had earlier against G2. Like, right now, it's perfectly setting it up that way. Also, with, like, Renekton, you got to factor in it's going to be, like, point-click CC, literally Orianna Shockwave. One person is going to be instantly dead.
I mean, first of all, Renekton has very small amounts of like gap closures especially without minions to be able to get on them. Unless he has flash, he's not going to be delivering any balls. Like he's going to be relegated to heal duty at that point in time for Bjergsen. I mean, the reason that Renekton doesn't scale that well is because to be able to get onto the backline, you have to be moderately tanky, or you're going to die before you get on top of there. And he's only able to do anything to the backline when he has some form of, like, if he has flash up. They're going to be fine. I mean, I think TSM is in a really bad spot right now, but, I mean, the goal deficit is only, like, it's like...
It's only 2K. It's only 2K in LGD's favor.
Yeah,
how long have you been awake for?
A bit.
You need some sleep.
Mm-hmm.
After this, you need to go to sleep. I wish I could be over your house right now and just, like, pet you as you're sleeping.
I don't like you saying that.
Oh god. Was the top esports game a clown fiesta like we had predicted?
Yeah, there's a lot of kills.
Oh my god.
Top esports was just in control the entire time.
I mean that's not even a surprise to me at this point. Oh my god. Alright, so Bjergsen's probably not very happy that the LeBlanc pick really didn't pan out in the early game. Oh, ooh, that's not what you want as TSM. You don't want the Orianna surviving there. But now you also have LGD taking bot.
And TSM had more turret plates.
Did they?
They did. They had 2 more.
Oh yeah, because they got Rift Herald, and then in bot lane they took 2 plates when they make that dive early on.
I'm just surprised that they were up and down in gold that far then, and it wasn't in kills. That must just be a CS differential, which it. Oh, I guess it is, huh? Yeah,
they're just losing across the board just in laning. That's pretty much all it is. Because, like, you already knew that Doublelift was going to lose his lane based off what happened level 1 where he blew his flash against the Nautilus hook.
I mean, he's actually up in CS right now. He's just down in kills.
Let's see what else is going on the map. She has been playing pretty well. Like, I'm pleasantly surprised by what I've seen out of him after, like, the playing stage. Like, he's been actually a pretty solid reason as to, like, why LGD have been able to sufficiently open up their gameplay and at least try out different things. Like, essentially, with adding in Shie to Pina, because, like, I really do feel like that LGD has, like, the worst synergy between all their laners. Like, even TSM right now have better synergy for their team. but LGD just don't really have any. Like you can tell they're. It's kind of like T1. They're just kind of they're just kind of like a bunch of players who are like good, but they're not like good together. That's how I see it. Now you have turret being top taken. You have a turret bot taken. I should probably get a drink right now since we're live viewing this. Let me get a drink really quickly.
Right when you go back. I think
Right
there's
when
a
I go
positive. Yeah, right when you leave.
Alright, so they try to actually invade. Did they get Shie's? No, Shie doesn't have zone yet, so they got a stopwatch in there.
They killed Biofrost.
They killed Biofrost? Oh fuck. Damn. Ugh.
I'm happy at the very least that TSM actually contested a dragon before the fourth one, which is nice. Usually they
Even if they start 0-3, let's just say they lose this game. I'll obviously, we're watching this live. Let's say they start 0-3. Most people kind of understand their mentality, and they kind of know they're probably not bouncing back.
I mean,
they might get one win. They might get the win against Fnatic when they have to have their rematch against them for the specific group day. Other than that, I don't see them getting anything more than that. If you can't beat LGD right now on today, that's pretty crazy. Like, the playing stage really did help out LGD. I feel like if LGD did not go into the playing stage, I feel like TSM could actually beat them right now, because I feel like that LGD would massively fumble their lead right now if they did not have the playing stage for all those warm-up games. I feel like when TSM won the LCS Summer Split 2020, they actually needed the playing stage more than Team Liquid, but you never know. All right, so they're gonna kill Shie, so you want to have that if you're TSM, so that way you can push out bot wave. You want to give Broken Blade the priority to have knowledge about where Lang X is actually going. But that's just me. That was just thoughts I had. I think a team like TSM, I mean, both teams, as I said before, needed the playing stage. Like, if I could throw in TSM in the playing stage, I'd do it. Like, it's their team that really thrives off of momentum, and having no momentum, basically since the 2020 Summer Split was over, is always going to be bad if you're a first-place team, because you're not really too sure what you need to do on stage to win. Because, like, on stage, teams play a lot safer, and some teams just play either a lot more aggressive, and that's how it's going to be. You know, oh, goodbye, you are out of position, and you are caught out, Spica. That is just... And Broken Blade knew he was also caught out, so he wasted a TP back to the base.
Oh, it's better than dying.
Causing that TP, now they know. You have a big timer down. Should they be doing Baron? No, they can't do Baron yet. It's only 18 minutes in. I
mean, they are. I'm not sure.
You'd like to see us at least trying to.
They're not trying to do anything. They're literally just getting ran down.
They're not rolling over and dying.
They look for picks. That's not really doing anything. This is the weakest part of TSM's gameplay, is always this point of the game. We're going to see whether or not, if they can get past this point, then they can lose with grace. I'm fine with it. I don't see them winning this game. They're at a really big deficit. They have there's a lot of people on the enemy team that can deal with their takes. They have a lot of options to get onto the back line. They have a massive... there's absolutely no way I see TSM being able to peel back and disengage from this team, and that's what they need to do in this situation. There's just so many forms of engage from them. There's so much speed coming out of Lilia. Lilia hits one ability, the game's over.
Like, everything in LGD's comp makes sense. Like, you have the Senna Snare, Nautilus Hook, Nautilus Ult. The Nautilus, that just provides CC, let's just say that. Orianna, Shockwave. You also have Lilia, which can stun you from long range. Like, TSM's comp seems like one of those early game comps where, like, it kind of does prioritize getting ahead early. I don't know why you would... Like, I really have never really seen TSM play early game composition to the fullest extent you can really maximize it to. So that's why I was decently surprised by the, LeBlanc pick. I was decently surprised by the Ezreal pick, because I don't think that they were trying... I knew what they were trying to do. They knew LGD like to fight, so you want to grab picks that help you in skirmishing and 5v5s early on, because they would actually win all the 5v5s early on if they actually played them correctly, but you never got to that point. LGD just also set up lane ganks very well, and then you also had them getting a few picks because of overextension. But that's just how I see it right now. Oh my gosh. What else is going on here? Like, after earlier on today, when Team Liquid beat G2, most people would probably think, oh my god, there probably is a way that TSM beats LGD. I was like, a little bit different there. A little bit different there. Like, TSM just isn't the same team. Like, when you see one team do something, it's not like it's not like mutually exclusive that the other team can do it too. Like, a lot of people in 2018, when Cloud9 made it to, out of the group of death, people were like, well, Team Liquid should be able to. Cloud9 did not the same thing. That's not mutually exclusive. It's completely different players. Oh yeah, because one org did it, the other one can't. It's like, nope. That's not how that works. Not even close. Broken Blade tried to engage onto Mark. Mark blew his flash. Peanut summons Rift Herald, but I think he put it bot lane, right?
Bjergsen's going on.
Peanut kills Shen. Kramer killed Spica. Doublelift killed Lang X. So far, it's the 3,000 gold lead still for LGD. Oh, they're so low. They're on the wrong position. Oh, Bjergsen's dead. Their best player has been massively underperforming. I'm just saying, Bjergsen's not been performing very well. Oh, but goodbye, Doublelift. Oh my lord, this game's over. All right, pack it up and go home. This game's. Oh god. Now they got 3 charges on the Rift Herald. Oh, this is like agony to watch for them. Like, I feel so bad for their fans who expected more out of them, but I can't really say I didn't expect this. I mean, I expected this going in.
You expected Bjergsen to play this poorly? It's not
no.
competition.
He's not playing poorly.
He's playing terrible.
He's playing pretty bad, but
no, it's not just
he's not going to get that same priority he gets here.
It's not the competition that's making him play bad, and that's the thing I keep trying to stress to you. It's completely different situations that's making him play poorly. He's literally just he's like a lot of the combos that he's messing up. I don't know. I think it might be you can see a lot of the combos that he's played in this specific game. He messed up. So
he's did these combos against international mid laners before. I've seen it before.
I'm just saying, we saw on that little gank top where he WR'd. I think it should have been that too. Also,
he should have this one. Q. There you go. Yeah. Or W. Yeah.
I thought he was in a W in then Q ult. So, I mean E. For the kill top.
W.
No, for the first
WR
kill top
ignite.
That he died to.
Oh yeah. The top lane dive where he whiffed the chain. I was like, what is this? I've seen this. Crazy. People are nuts. All right, so TSM are starting up the Baron.
He probably didn't do it. He's not. He's maxing W obviously for wave clear, so it would make more sense to why he might not be able to kill him with that. But I feel like it still would kill him. So what do you feel about Mark right now? Do you think Mark actually has been not less trash? Mark's extreme. Come on, man.
God. All right, so they had the Senna Ulf get whipped all over the team. They're all super low.
You gave Mark Nautilus, and it's just idiotic. I mean, of course he's gonna play well.
Never give any of the LPL supports Nautilus.
I think that should be a perma ban against them. That Renekton's also a good ban, but I mean, at the very least, if you don't ban it against top laners, it's because they can play other things.
This is the same team that didn't ban Evelyn against Fnatic. People usually attack the draft. I don't think TSM's draft is that bad. I know what they're trying to do early on. The draft isn't bad whatsoever. All right, okay, I like this. There you go. Use that Stand United. All right, get your pick. All right,
looks like Doublelift might be the main carry of this team right now because he's I think they have the possibility of getting back into this. I mean, again, we got Ezreal at his 2 power spike. We got LeBlanc with their Void Staff finished. I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure how, again, it's not like Senna completely takes over the game damage-wise. She just has a lot of utility, and she can deal a lot of burst damage in the early, in a small burst sustain, fight instead of a sustained fight. She's actually still pretty solid, but I don't see anything oppressive on the team.
Let's put a hypothetical scenario here. What if TSM actually get, second place in the 2020 LCS Spring Split, and then they keep Dardoch and Kabe? Do you think that Dardoch and Kabe would be better for them right now,
No,
specifically?
I
No.
think that the step up of Doublelift is still probably better. I think Doublelift
Because you still want to
specifically.
keep Dardoch.
What?
You still would keep Dardoch.
I think that at the early, like for most of the year, I would agree with that. But Spica's moderately stepped it up in the early game. I still think Dardoch is better in the early game, but Dardoch's also an idiot past 10 to 15 minutes, so there's that too. Like, I think that maybe the highs of Dardoch kind of make up for the fact that he does this and make it some point that you actually do want to pick him up. I think it'd be worth picking him up because you're not able to compete competitively unless you have some sort of early game pressure. And Spica really is just a facilitator, and that's just all it is. That doesn't really... I don't think it should exist in the like LCS scene. I don't think... Can Bjergsen kill him? He has no MR. He has some MR. And he has a lot of flat HP. Yeah, I was about to say.
Lance has been playing okay this game, but Chinese are necked in. Oh, there's just certain picks they shouldn't have. Like, there's certain people that just shouldn't get their picks. Like, unless you're actually, you know, pretty bad on it. And, the dredge line. Alright, into the knock. Nope, goodbye, Doublelift. Out of position.
How do you constantly get caught out as Ezreal? How do you constantly miss... Like, it's so frustrating. It's so aggravating. Like, it's pathetic. He has, like, an inbuilt way to dodge CC, yet he consistently gets hit by it. Like, again, that is an unnecessarily lost inhibitor just because Doublelift doesn't know how to position properly as an ADC. He's just been, throughout the entirety of the year, one of the weakest points of this team. Like, again, sometimes he's been a pretty solid part, but he's really making this TSM team not be able to bounce back in a lot of situations. He's not the mental forward, like, kind of leader this team needs. He's not good at shot calling. He's not good at ADC, obviously. So, like, what is he useful for? Like,
that was the point of getting him, was because he was going to be a strong side ADC who could play weak side if need be. Then, like, I don't understand. Like, they're not even putting resources into Bjergsen. They're putting resources into Broken Blade. And even, like, that's not working. Like, they don't even know how to win the game right now against these teams. It's very possible these guys go 0-6. Like, if you told me right now, let's go, because their group plays, I think, on to get them out. Their group plays, I think, on Friday or Saturday. If you told me right now TSM goes 0-6, I'm not shocked. Like, are you really shocked by their gameplay? This is atrocious right now. This is bad. Like,
it's a TP right there out of Renekton. Not out of Renekton, out of Orianna. Which is pretty solid for them.
Alright, Bjergsen got the Scuttle Crab.
Scuttle, which could give him a lot of pressure on the Dragon. I'm Baron.
LGD is 4,000 gold ahead. Like, LGD, when they have the lead, they do close it out. So we'll see how they play that out. Is he gonna? Nope. Okay. Yeah, he's trying to spot where he is. He's trying to figure out where he is.
Well, no, he was trying to kill him. I mean, that was just definitely their goal.
He doesn't have Ignite or his ultimate either to make sure it lands.
He was gonna Q onto him and have Orianna ult on top of him, but he walked into the left side of the lane, which meant that if Nautilus queued in, he would have walked out of range of Orianna ball and he would have disengaged off of him and went back to Orianna.
You have Gargoyles right on Nautilus. Is that Gargoyle Stormplate?
Nautilus, that's what all engaged supports take now.
Okay, he just finished that. Senna's on 3. Oh my god, he's so strong right now. Senna's on 3 items. Xie's got Ludens, Banshees, Death Cap, and he's really strong. Like, literally, QW will chunk all your health if you're a squishy. And then if you shock with your oh my lord. Peanut's been having a pretty good Lilia game. This is his best Lilia game so far, honestly. Linux has... He's still decently, like, I don't know. He didn't get super far ahead, but he got ahead enough where it's not going to let Broken Blade obviously be able to duel him in the side lane. Right now, I don't even see, I mean, they can't win right now, even in side lane pressure, because Bjergsen got shoved in so hard by Xie. Xie effectively, didn't let Bjergsen roam around the map because they knew that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to roam around the map, get kills, because TSM wanted to start early skirmishes that would put the LeBlanc in positions to get her to be a lot stronger. But that ended up happening for Xie, which was the reverse plan. What do you think so far?
I mean, Bjergsen's... I mean, the fact that LGD isn't closing out completely, they're kind of trying to, get objectives and all that stuff when they should be pushing leads a lot more effectively is a good sign for TSM at the very least.
I mean, they just took the bot top turret, right?
This is 30 minutes into the game, dude. We're 30
Oh
minutes
yeah,
into
you're right.
this game.
Yeah.
Like they got the mid turret on a specific push because they got a really lucky pick, but for the most part they really haven't been capitalizing. The lead has not really shifted more than 1,000 gold in their favor. Like, I think that we're seeing Doublelift is coming online right now. Like, they're 2 items in. He just got a death snap, but the problem is that what does Bjergsen do in this situation? He doesn't have the ability to kill Orianna. Orianna's too fed. She has a lot of MR and she has a lot of flat HP. She can't kill the Lilia. She can't kill the Renekton. She might be able to Nautilus can just use gargoyles. And even Senna has a lot of flat HP. Like, what can he do here? He has a lot.
Also, he's kind of far behind too. Like, he only has 2 items, and he also has the needlessly large rod, right? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Or the Spectre, yeah, whatever it's called. Like, he's pretty far behind right now compared to Xie, who's got 3 items and is about to almost start. He's starting his 4th. Xie's starting his 4th. Bjergsen's on, like, he's starting his 3rd.
Let's
like,
see,
he's gonna have a
Bjergsen just backed, and he got death cap. Good. They were good.
Okay, good.
He rushed the Fiendish Codex because he wanted the extra 10% CDR, so that would put him up to 30%. I don't know what runes he took. I don't know how to check what his secondary rune page is. But if he took Transcendence in the second part, he's at 40% CDR, which would
took electric, didn't he?
He did, yeah. Secondary though.
Okay.
Secondary, which if you took it secondary, that would.
All right, Biofrost does.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that was great. I like that. Oh, okay. I thought that was actually I'll land up.
That's too easy to do. I'm not impressed. It's a very easy thing to do, especially when it's so telegraphed.
They're definitely gonna fight over this. They're definitely gonna fight over this.
I mean,
like, why does TSM consistently have bad vision control over the Dragon Pit?
Because they don't go to the Dragon Pit until it spawns. I mean, what do you expect?
I mean, you could set up Dragon Vision, but it's okay.
I'm saying they just don't go there until they got it.
They got it, and then now they all just got exploded.
I'm just saying they don't go to the Dragon Pit until until the dragon spawns. So by the time they get there, that might just be game right there. Actually, that's 40 seconds on everybody. He's gonna try and kite it out, but I don't think he can.
Frost is dead.
Oh.
Like, Spicker's been playing pretty well on like stealing dragons, but
everything else... Well, Biofrost actually got out. No, he didn't.
Oh, that's my.
They're just gonna end the game. I don't know why he just went in on that.
They can just end the game. They really can, honestly. You can just end it. There was no point in chasing. Well, they want to make sure you start the backs. If you start the backs, you're guaranteed. What are they doing? All right, this is pure cancer.
Could they not? They had.
All right, that's just.
No, they couldn't have ended. It's fine. It was a good idea on his part. He stalled the wave in the bot lane. I guess I misunderstood how much time was on the.
I mean, there's potential. You could have actually. You could have at least, if you could not have ended, you could have at least gotten a Nexus turret. You could have at least got that. Because there's no way a Bard and a Shen will defend against that. Not even close. Because he already used his ultimate. Like, look at that. They're just piling on. Like, yeah. Because I mean, LGD's team comp is better at 5v5s. Like, TSM's comp was all about early game pressure and then skirmishing in the 2v2. Not gonna happen. Not even with this. Nope. Your 5v5 is way worse than theirs. Set of snares, Nautilus, dredge lines, shockwaves, Lillian stunts. Nope. LGD's comp is gonna 5v5 better. The only way TSM's comp would actually excel right now is if they get picks, but
it's not a pick-centric comp. They can definitely 5v5 with this comp, but it's more a 1-3-1 comp than anything. The reason they're not 1-3-1ing is because Orianna is so far ahead of LeBlanc right now. There's absolutely no reason to even try it.
Plus, they also losing all the side lanes, too. Renekton's going to run down Shen, based off what we just saw. Then you also have... If you put Orianna in the side lane, Bjergsen can't solo him. Can't match him. They're essentially just, like, pigeoned right now into just running mid.
They have no vision on TSM. That's the good thing about this, besides when the other minions come in. They're going to try and do Baron right now. Bjergsen has TP up, so it's not like he's not going to be there. They're going to be able to make it to this Baron. They have bot lane shoving now, so if they win this fight, they could probably get something big off of it. I don't expect them to win it, though, because they haven't even warded it.
Okay, they're starting Baron. It's getting lower. If Spica steals this, I mean, I'm not surprised. He's had a pretty good track record of stealing objectives. Okay.
No, they weren't gonna be able to do that. Getting an engage on Senna is also terrible. Oh, they don't have vision.
Okay, Kramer is still alive. Okay.
He is not.
Oh. All right, she has 3 kills. She's gonna get 4. Yeah, he's too far ahead. They let this Orianna get so far ahead. He's gonna just stun. W. Over the wall. Stretch line. Yep, there you go. Game's done. It's over. There's 0-3. Oh my god. That's crazy, actually.
I can't watch another TSM game. This is just disappointing. It's not even fun to watch. Like, they just don't do anything. It's like LGD looked pathetic in this game, but TSM looked worse. Like,
I think LGD played pretty good, actually.
They played actually terrible. Like, they're definitely... I don't think LGD is making it out of this group, but, I mean, obviously TSM isn't either. With a different...
Alright, guys. TSM is... Oh, 0-3.
Such an aggravating game, man. I'm so frustrated with TSM.
They're like, get Beers in the team.
No, get Doublelift. Get Doublelift off this team, man. He's just disappointing me. Terrible.
You know what's funny? After they lost to Golden Guardians 0-3, they re-signed his contract for next year. I was like, what? Just had the worst series of his life, and he gets a full contract next year. What is that?
That's what happens when your girlfriend's part of the team, huh?
Yeah, benefits of, playing like dog shit. Your fucking hot-ass girlfriend saves your ass. Nothing against her, obviously. She's looking out for herself, and her wallet. It's what I would do too, but, if you're TSM and you want to win, you might want to change it. Look at their faces. They're like, fuck, we are actually trash. We're going 0s. That's the face of we're going 0-6. That would be the funniest shit in the world if they went 0-6. Oh my god, the TSM fans would go nuts. Oh, they would be calling for everybody but Buddy's head. It's like, literally right now, if you're TSM and you're thinking about next year, this is hypotheticals, right, guys? You're keeping Broken Blade. You're keeping Broken Blade at Bjergsen. Everybody else is debatable, because, like, people talk about, like...
keeping besides Broken Blade and Bjergsen. Like, no one else has any positives to them. Like, there's nothing specific about Biofrost that you couldn't get out of any other support.
I would have just kept trying Treats then.
Treats
I think
wasn't good either, though. I mean,
but they gave it too early on him. Like, I think he was okay. I think
support is very simple, so you can really see. It's even easier to see how good somebody is, or their potential at the very least, based off of a small sample size. I don't believe in his potential, and that's
like. This is kind of what I boil this game down to. Everything that TSM wanted to do, LGD got that in their mid laner. She shoved in Bjergsen. He wasn't able to roam. They put vision around the mid lane, so they could see him actually go back to his base consistently. He wasn't able to have an early game impact because he was consistently losing. He was actually literally consistently losing the lanes.
He actually roamed around the map completely more effectively than Orianna. He went quite a bit. I mean, in the early game,
he didn't maximize it.
He went
bot and top, yeah.
He went the bot once. That's 3 roams in the span of, like, the first 20 minutes of the game. The problem is that he never got kills off them besides the very one, like, the last one in bot. Like, he got killed in the top lane roam. Like, there's no excuse for how Bjergsen played. He's been absolutely, like, just worthless in this entire series. I'm disappointed in Bjergsen. I'm disappointed in Doublelift. I'm disappointed in everybody in this entire series. Like, Broken Blade didn't deserve this team. If there was just a team full of 5 of him, they would have been fine, but they can't have that. Like, I don't know. I have no hopes for this team anymore. I really
put Cloud9's players in all in TSM jerseys and get them to play.
So they can lose even harder because they're trash?
At least they'd have a game plan going in. They'd have a game plan going.
All right. Would be make sure we lose in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Alright, it can't be anything worse than what I saw at FlyQuest losing 5 minutes in. That was absolutely disgusting. Yeah. There's no game on this planet where you should lose in 5 minutes. That is pitiful. I don't even lose that early. But TSM, the issue here with TSM is that you got to factor in I don't know. There's so many different things. All right, so like taking the Bard, and then you also have Biofrost not really pairing up with Bjergsen. Like the synergy on TSM has just not really been there. Like for their players, you know.
All
You
it
see
is.
typically in like Spica and Broken Blade, and when they actually, Spica, ganks top. But other than that, I don't really see a lot of the TSM players really making decisions together and executing them on together. Like when you see Peanut going in, he goes in with Shie, or he'll go in with Mark. You don't see that with TSM. You see one person doing something, the other person's like, oh yeah, I just landed CC. I'll just do it then. It's like
Yeah.
it's not going to work against better teams who have coordinated synergy. You know.
It's the big, like, if we look at the gank and bot lane, the initial dive happened. They went in, and after the initial burst of dive, damage and CC, then Shen ulted, which was kind of weird to me. I'm not sure what the whole solution to this team is. I'm not sure what should actually be happening between these players, but five manning
I
bot and
want
only
to
getting
see the
one kill.
excuses.
Yeah, I'm just saying, five manning bot getting one singular kill, like, that was terrible. That shouldn't happen. They should have base damage from auto attacks, like, just purely based off that, able to get 3 kills right there, or at least 2. Like, do 5 manning bot, you need more out of that. There's like, there's like lack of communication between the players. Like, obviously a lot of the engages they have are kind of like not really timed well with each other. There's a lot of situations where you see a lot of players just not able to, like, kind of communicate what their next move is around the map. I mean, I think TSM doesn't have hope. I mean, if they keep this roster next year, I don't even see them making Worlds. Even in NA, I think that they really did show a lot of mental weaknesses. I think Doublelift needs to be off this team. I think you build a team, like, everybody wants to complain about Bjergsen being on a team that's not ever succeeded, but he's always been the star player. Even regardless of him playing poorly this year, he doesn't always play poorly. I want to see a new TSM at this point. Maybe you do actually get rid of Bjergsen at this point, because, like, even though he is the best player, like, it
He's not
seems like
like the best. He's not really
he's
putting
shot.
like if you're the best player. Like imagine like this. Like Caps makes G2 a different team.
Yep, he made
Does
him a really different
Bjergsen?
team this game. Last game when
I
yeah.
mean overall, I'm talking, but like Bjergsen, does he really make TSM? Does he really make TSM that big of an X factor to the point where you consistently keep him?
I actually do think he plays a really well in games that don't mean anything. And when it starts meaning something, I said, like, again, I think he played well at the last Worlds he was at, which was years ago. I don't think he played well this Worlds. I think this was one of the worst performances I've seen out of him in any stage.
I just think that when he faces up against international competition, he just like it's not that he gets exposed per se. It's like you can clearly tell there's a skill difference in him to all these other players.
I
Like
mean, he's
the
not
only
even
player
worse
I've
than
seen him
this.
really beat was Nemesis
He's not
so
worse
far in
than
the group.
GA on a normal basis. I mean, even the last time him and GA fought, there was a lot closer. Like, I don't think the gap between him and Shie, I do think he's actually a better mid laner than Shie. Shie doesn't have the capabilities to be able to lead a team the way that Bjergsen does in terms of just taking over the game. Shie is more so like the guy who plays Orianna, like we saw this game, and he plays not a lot of other champions, but for the most part, I don't think he is better than Shie. I mean, Bjergsen. I think Shie has really stepped it up at this world specifically, and he's actually substantially playing. He is playing better than Bjergsen right now. I mean, that's without a doubt. I think Shie actually is playing, like, better than Knight did for, like, 2 games. Like, Knight really did underperform, to be fair, but still. Like, all around, I think that there are problems fundamentally in TSM's playstyle and mentality, the coaching staff, and it can't be fixed without actually doing a full revamp. As much as I think Bjergsen is a good player, I think that it's not worth having the same kind of ideology consistently go through each roster, because you keep the core fundamental of that ideology on the team. Like, funneling resources in the middle. Like, this team doesn't seem
Azale
like
said.
What?
Azale said the amount of missed skill shots, failed execution this game by TSM is just brutal. Lots of fights that are good ideas, but just completely flop due to stuff missing / bad coordination. I mean, people are just, man, people are going crazy. Oh, like, holy crap. This guy says this lots hurts more than the others because draft was not an issue here. I agree. I think the draft was actually pretty good this game. It's sad to see a player of the caliber of Bjergsen mis-execute one of the most famous champion he plays on, But just looking at the cams, the team looks like under immense pressure and not enjoying themselves. I mean, you could already tell that. I mean, these are things you could already see. You can already see Bjergsen underperforming. You can already see they're not happy. You can already, I know the look of teams like them. They are getting destroyed in their scrims. I've seen these look. I can tell
look like
they're
this
getting
in NA all the time, dude. I don't.
No, I know, but like you can tell.
They look sad all the time. I don't even see Bjergsen laugh on the cams half the time. I think I have a problem with TSM right now. I think that it wasn't underperformed. Like, it wasn't like Bjergsen. Like, if Bjergsen got outmatched by GA, who cares, man? Like, who cares about that? That happens because
the amount of small mistakes that LGD are punishing is what separates the LPL from the LCS. One of the things. NA teams are just used to these punishes over such small but critical mistakes.
What did LPL? What did like again?
LGD didn't punish anything. TSM ran in and just 100% failed.
Made a lot of mistakes, but I mean, look at all the chains that Bjergsen made. Look at the top lane where he mistimed a combo and just killed himself. Like, Bjergsen played terrible. Doublelift played worse than that. Biofrost was just, there was no actually good engages on his part. He got some priority targets, but he always mistimed his Q to where they could just kind of like get out of it. Like, Spica was like better performing members of this team, and he's terrible. Like, all around, this team just was a complete disappointment. They don't have a leader on this team. That's what it is. There's no mental leader on this team.
There's no there's no Niski for them. There's no Sneaky for them. There's no
leader.
Or, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's no Demonte. There's no Demonte. There's no there's no player to really, you know, reel them back and go, okay, we got this.
I don't know if Demonte's a leader either. I mean, I think, like, if we look at Cloud9, if Cloud9 actually had the similar problem, they have no leader. That's why they weren't able to bounce back once they started losing. Sven obviously isn't that leader that I expected him to be. Mythy seems to be the leader that was on all those teams. Perks was a leader. Like, we look at all these players, it's not about skill. You need somebody to take over the team. You need somebody to say, we're fine, we lost, but we can bounce back from it. You need these types of players, and they have to be able to trust his word on it, and they don't have that. Bjergsen is just not able to be a leader. He's only a good player. They don't have, like, Doublelift is just not even a good player. He's not a good leader or player. Biofrost, it needs somebody to tell him what to do. I think that with a leader on Biofrost, well, I'm just saying, like, I don't even want to watch them, man. Like, it's disappointing. Bjergsen,
he said team skill shots miss.
It's all around, like, TSM had potential to be a good team. They didn't live up to it, and now we're just seeing the reasons as to why. We get to be disappointed as a group now. Like, even the people that said TSM wasn't going to make it out of groups expected more.
Even they're sad. They're like, this is
worse than they expected. Like, TSM is putting up no fight. They would lose. Like, I honestly put them getting out of groups because I was like, you know, TSM, Fnatic's inconsistent. TSM, not inconsistent. They can beat Fnatic because Fnatic's going to have a bad game or two. And, like, I can't even say that anymore. Like, TSM isn't playing to the standard that they played in NA at the very least. Like, again, LGD punished a lot of mistakes in terms of just, like, they were able to make it to fights before TSM did. But, like, I think that's a problem with TSM. Every single Dragon fight, they walked in there because they didn't ward it like, if you're not 20 seconds early to a Dragon, as I feel like you need to say 20 to 30 seconds early to a Dragon, you're late. You can't show up when it spawns, or you have to walk in there blindly and try and contest it. Like,
dude, I literally just saw, like, remember there was a Dragon fight. No, the fight when LGD were running into TSM in their top lane, like top quadrant, where Bjergsen whipped the chain between Renekton and Nautilus. Like, they were missing all their skill shots. They weren't layering up their CC. Their composition was not good in terms of, you know, later on during the game. I think that both drafts were fine, but I also think that when you're looking at things like this, I just don't really understand what's going on to the point where they're not even landing skill shots properly.
No, man. I'm pretty unhappy with the state of the game. Well, not the state of TSM's game. And
I mean, I expected this. Like,
they didn't play this poorly.
They didn't play this poorly, but they're gonna play worse. Like, LCS teams are not good. So playing up against better quality competition
it's not what's making them play poorly. They're playing.
Even if they were playing at like
They would have won
their full
games.
caliber, they would have maybe won a single game. I would say that.
It's disrespectful because of the fact that Team Liquid is playing competently against a lot of, like, against they beat G2 recently, and it's underperformance on G2 and a very bad draft mistake, but like at the very least they can compete on the international level, and TSM was better than them. Like LGD is not better than G2 or Suning yet. I mean, Team Liquid put up more of a fight against them. I think that what we're saying right now is just I don't see a world where TSM at the very least couldn't have competently at the very least competed for a second win. Maybe they got one win, maybe a second, who knows. But even if they didn't get that second win, at the very least we would have had some hope for them. This is not, no one expected this. If you expected this, you didn't watch TSM. Like, this is not a TSM anybody expected. No one's coming in here like expecting NA to get out of groups is one thing. Not get out of groups is one thing, but expecting this level of play, it's like this is like a Clash team wandered onto the stage at this point. Like, this is not TSM. This is not the TSM we expected. And anybody who says they're playing at this level throughout the entirety of the year, they didn't watch the skill shots they must have been. Maybe they would have got outflanked a lot of the situations, because that was a big problem with TSM. But
No, like what I'm trying to say is like a lot of what they do is based off a lot of bad teams not either punishing them,
what I'm
or they
saying
get away with
is
a lot in North America. You're not going to
massive.
get away with like certain things
So
at Worlds
you're
because
saying
other
that
teams
is
punish
what's
a lot more
happening here.
differently.
You're saying
No. They're genuinely playing bad.
Playing,
they would probably get a few more wins if they were playing at their peak. Yeah, they probably would.
I'm saying,
but
what did LG do to make Bjergsen miss his chains?
it's not really what they did. It's just like
misplayed a massive amount of like champions. Like, all of them besides Broken Blade are underperforming. Like, I think that it's fair to say that NA is the worst region. It's slightly better than Vietnam, if anything, and maybe not even that at this point.
Let me go to the TSM subreddit super quickly. I want to see salt all on their faces.
Like
I get why people are mad. Like, I understand it, but you have to look at it from this perspective. Like, when you have scrims against these better teams, what, like, all the stuff they tried, I imagine did not work, which is the reason why they're playing like this.
I mean, I think the reason that they're playing like this is because, like, at this point in time, they're mentally done too. Maybe they just shouldn't have scrims, because if that's what's making them sad, because it's
happens every single year. You can tell. Like, it happens every single year. They do well. They go to Worlds. They probably have scrims against better teams, and then
all I hear is about scrim god TSM who win every single scrim they play. Like that's all I've ever heard. Like, they apparently every time they go to Worlds, they decimate everybody in scrims. Then they get onto the stage and just disappoint us all. Like, TSM is a disappointing team. I don't even want to see. I feel like they shouldn't even show up for week 2 because they didn't earn the right for it. Like,
I don't like. I'm trying to fucking what. No.
Team Liquid has some sort of redeeming qualities. TSM just played like a style that was really fast paced, but just had good players. They weren't able to capitalize on mistakes, and I that's all I could say about that. I mean, I don't know, man. This is just an extremely disappointing series for me. Like, this entire world so far for NA specifically, but I've had a lot of really fun experiences with Suning, so I'm good with it. It's a big kind of a change up for me. I really enjoy watching Dragon. I'm damn on it. Maybe I just need to move to Korea so I feel less bad. But, I don't know. I don't agree that TSM is playing. I don't think it's the international caliber that's making them play worse, even though I do think it definitely has some sort of impact, but I think they got into their own heads at this point in time, and they've kind of given up on trying to win. I mean, you got anything else to say?
I think that they get away with a lot of stuff here.
I mean, I agree with that.
It does not work against better teams. That's all I'm trying to say for people who are going to watch it.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but I don't think that was relevant to this specific game. I think
I know it's not, but the issue here is, like, you got to expect this. If they're playing a specific style a few other days ago, like, they're not a team that's based off adaptability. It took them so long to play early game correctly.
They always played early game correctly because they won lanes. That's all they could do. The reason that they're not able to do anything is because they're not winning as hard in the early game, and their mid game was already terrible. Like, it all comes, like, again, international competition is obviously a factor in what's going on here, but I think the big problem is that they honestly, Like again, maybe the scrims were the thing, but they got into their own heads, and now they can't play well anymore.
They probably scrimmed a bunch of better teams, probably got beaten so much that they're like, whoa, okay, if we don't really change our playstyle or do something, we are going to get destroyed.
Yeah, I don't even want to see
There's the only, like, there's no other way you think like that. Like, how? Because you would have no way of knowing your playstyle works unless you play against better teams who just probably beat the hell out of you.
Yeah. I think I'm too tilted anymore to even... Alright.
Sorry, there's a freaking car outside. I'm trying to figure out some post-game thing to see, you know, like, what people are saying about the team. They're probably super down. Like, even the TSM fans are pretty sad about what's going on. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, okay, here we go. Post-game discussion for TSM versus LGD. Looks like we're out. Not impossible, but definitely improbable. One silver lining is Spica played pretty well, in my opinion, and it's only growing, but really disappointing how bad our veteran players have played yet again.
Spica is still atrocious. I don't want to give him hope, but I think that, again, I agree with that. The probably first to second best player on this team was Spica. Broken Blade and Spica played well. Everybody else was terrible.
This guy says, I don't know about straight up bad, but Bjerg really didn't look good in the games against Genji or Fnatic either, though, by the way. And then this guy replies, playing LeBlanc when your team has zero cohesion or game plan and you're behind is a nightmare. He was trying to make desperate plays and failed on the execution, like the dive top where he didn't even get the kill, then went back to his W and got killed. At least he went down swinging, which is more than we usually get from TSM, but it's still disappointing how it's been 6 years since 2014 and we're still incapable of getting out of groups. Well, that's not changing this year, so you're looking at 7 years. Oh my god. That's something I've noticed as well. It's been like that for years. Bjergsen always has horrendously low vision score every single game. I don't know why that's something that doesn't get fixed. I mean, most people don't have good vision control. It's usually only in like supports. Yeah, most of them are just saying that Bjergsen underperformed. That's pretty much it for most of the TSM subreddit so far. Man, I really just wish there were more international competitions through the year, because playing up against actual good teams once a year is fucking ruins the competitiveness of the actual good players in our region. Now, that's not really it. Obviously, stuff happens in an A that doesn't get punished, but from just watching the plays, the overstays, etc., this world is clear they're making unusual mistakes. I mean, you know, this is just, yeah, people are very, very mad. The only team to ever do this is Fnatic, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, people, if you go on the TSM subreddit, they are pretty, mad right now. This guy says Broken Blade was also getting outlaned quite a bit. Also, Spica was out jungled, but I wouldn't blame him when he's playing up against freaking Clinton self-made. This game, he held his own against Peanut. No one's blaming the draft, actually. The draft was not the problem. Draft was literally not the problem this game. It's because their mental is trash. Broken Blade and Spica play to win. The others have a mental block. Seems like they have the nerves instead of our rookies. It's always the veterans on TSM that have these nerve issues. Like, what is that? You're not supposed to have that. But yeah, I gotta let you go to bed because you're probably super asleep.
I'm just tilted from that game, man. You got anything you want to say before I end it?
Nope. I want to kill myself after watching that game.
Alright. At the very least, NA's experience at Worlds will be short, so we won't have to suffer for too long.
Don't worry, I still got G2, and I know they're going far.
Hi there, guys! Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.